Okay, class. We're going to continue our lesson in CPU. Instruction calling subroutine and passing arguments in the parameters. Okay, we're passing arguments to parameters. These are the arguments or data. Because in syntax, I told you, syntax, mob, source destination is the parameter. Okay, so we're passing arguments to a subroutine. Okay, so you add the following code in your data. Then what happened here is ask your tutor how to add labels to your code. Okay, so it's yourself. So I found how to add new label. I do not have any tutor, only my god, Yeshua. Okay, so now this code is stored 41 to 4F. So from 41 to 4F, so it's storing an alphabet starting from memory address 16. This is the 16. Okay, so if you review the data, the ASCII is 41 to 4F. So from A to N, not O, because this is the condition. So the last, if equal to 4F, halt the system, so until N only. Okay, so and start from memory 16, so it will start in here, 16 here. So you try to review the whole PDF, and you can see there's a lot of command below. And we're going to use this MSF, the mark stack frame, and call the stack frame, call the routine. For every stack frame there is a corresponding call, injunction with the call, because it will reserve space for the return address in the program stack. After calling, it will save the address of the calling stack. Okay, so you will see later, and this call is calling the function. Okay, and the return is the return from subroutine. Jump not equal, jump if equal, jump if greater. Okay, so let's do it. What you're going to do is to screenshot on your phone all this command. So after you screenshot, you are going to type that code. Okay, so first, the hardest part is adding a label. So you can type this one here and add, and this is the program. Then add instruction here, add new. How to add a label? Ask your tutor. So this is the new label here. Okay, then you can type here my initialized variable, my inivars. Okay, so instead of label 2, so we just put my initialized variable a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and now we're going to assign the value of 16 to R03, so move 16 to R03. Okay, after that, move hexadecimal 41, H41, small h41 into R04. Okay, so as you can see, we are typing now the code. Then we're going to add new label, and we can type jump here. Okay, as you can see, this value is 12. This one is 0, this one address is 12. Okay, so after that jump here, we're going to add a new instruction, which is store the value now. Store the value of R03, which is 16, to memory. Store the value of R04 to 16, which is the memory address. Okay, so meaning store letter A to 16, memory address 16. That's why store R04 into R03. Okay, so after that there is an @ symbol, meaning R03 is a memory address. R03 is a memory address. Okay, in Oli debug, in Jindra, in all the debugger, there is a bracket, meaning that is an array of memory, there is data, or it depends on how they use it. Like here, R03 is a memory address, so that is indirect. You review the memory, direct memory addressing, the indirect register addressing, and the direct register addressing. This one is indirect. Okay, because you are not passing data in R03, you are passing memory address. Okay, so after that you are going to loop. So we are adding 1 here, R03, adding 1 to R04 to make it 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, that's the area of memory. This one is 41424F in our decimal. In our hex should be 414244445 until 4F. No? That's why if you are adding 1, you need to add 1 to take a loop, to make your counter, create your counter. Then it will loop the counter until we reach the 4F. So we're going to go to arithmetic now. Add 1 to R03. Okay, so add 1 to R03 and add 1 to R04. Registers temporary area. It's like in your calculator. There is memory plus, memory plus, memory plus, last in, first out, last in, first out, something like that. So after that, we are going to compare now. We are going to compare now the counter, the last counter. I mean, you stop where? Stop until you reach 4F. Okay, until you reach 4F, you stop. Who will stop? The R04. So because this is the data, you can use also the memory address. It's up to you, because it keep counting only. So stop until the R04 become 4F. You are comparing it. Stop or continue. If not equal, that's why you are adding jump. If not equal, you have if the value is not equal, you have to jump here into jump here. You can type $, like what is stated in the manual. With the jump instruction by putting $ in the front, but no need to type because there is a drop down list here. Just choose all your label and jump here, so it will jump there. So if you add the new instruction now, if not equal to the R04, because 41, 42, it's looping, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D, 4E, 4F. So this one is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's moving. Then when they equal, we're going to halt the system, meaning done. So this is it. Then you reset the program and show the program data, and you can click this one to show on top. So this is the CPU instruction now. So the CPU is reading the code, because there is a code segment, there is a data segment which is memory, and there is a extra segment, stack segment. This is your stack segment. Okay, so let's run the code, and as you can see, track the R03 and R04 here, what is going on. So run. So store the value 41A here, then B and C and D and E. This one is 19, 20, 68, 69. Okay, because you are adding, and this is your initialized variable starting point. And we reach 4F? No, not yet. 4F is O. So until N, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and stop the system. Okay. Done. Okay, so that's it. How about if you want to 0? I want to start in 0. So you change this variable, edit that one into 0. Change that to 0. Okay? Change the area of memory into 0 and show the memory and run the program, and you can see it will start the data here. 0. See? 42, 43. So I want to start at 72. You change this one to 72 here. So you just play with it. Okay, play with your code. That's how you play the code. So I want I want A to Z. You change this 4F to 90. No? And look for the value of the hexadecimal. Actually, we can change this direct to decimal. 65. This one is 65. They are almost the same. You edit this one into 65. You can edit that into 65. Okay, just actually it is 65 already. See, just take 65. And this one becomes 65, and this one is we just change this to what is the value. I want only A to 70, A to E. No, I want only until 70, A to E only. A to E. Just change this to 70. Okay. See, because that one is 79. I want only 70, A to E. So when you run the program, you reset the program, and you reset our memory, it will put 0 until E only, A to E. Okay, so when you run the code, A, B, C, D, E, then stop. Because you are only looping 5 times or 4 times. 5 times A, B, C, D, because it's included the 0. Okay, so that's how you do it. I want in start in 104, so you edit this one into 104. I want to put that data into memory address 104. Okay, so when you reset the program, as you can see here, 104 starting of the data should be here. Oh, no need to clear the memory, it's okay, but for you reset. Okay, then run. As you can see, the data should be start from here in 104. Okay, so this is it. Just play with it, adding 1 here, because it is keep adding 1 and after looping 5. Okay, so that's what's going on. That's what happened. So we're only using 5 loopings to make it short. Then ada pa rin subroutine calling, but do not run it yet. So we are going to type, after halt, we type MSF call label 2. Our label is jump here. Okay, it says that do not run it. Ada pa rin subroutine calling code, but do not run it yet. Okay, and change the halt into return. Okay, so we add new here, and we are going to add mark assist frame, mark stack frame. After marking stack frame, call my label jump here. Okay, then return. Yeah, okay, do not run it yet, so meaning we're going to run it manually. Double click this MSF, and as you can see, there is 0, 1 here, -1, which is the bottom of the stack, and 1 and 0 is the top of the stack. Okay, so last in, first out. LIFO, it's like a plate in the restaurant. The plate on top is the one you will remove, and there's an address 40 here, so meaning MSF then 40. Okay, remember that. So in the top of the stack and the bottom of the stack, because you are marking now the stack frame, call jump here. Okay, we call the jump here, which is the 12 is the calling procedure. Okay, so it will save the 45. That's why this 45 automatically come here. See, so meaning the address 40, which is the mark frame, this will save the 45, which is the return value after the call. Okay, that's why when it is running and running and running, and it will run to the ret, return to this function, and it will clear the stack. Okay, so that's what's happening. Make a note the content of the program stack after instruction MSF. So you will see the value, the top and the bottom of the stack with -1 and 0, but after the call you will see the return value is recorded in the program stack. Okay, so it's just what is the significant additional improvement in the stack after executing the call instruction. So that's what happened. You will see the return, then after return it will stop it. Okay, now after that you are going to put the number 60 on top of the stack. So you are going to put, after MSF you are going to put 60. Remember this, after MSF you are going to put 60 push. So meaning, remember this class, for every push there's a corresponding pop. For every push there is pop. Okay, because you are popping the one you push. So we're going to put 60 on that area in stack frame. Okay, so we're going to move it up. Okay, after MSF after MSF, after marking it, it will push the number 60. See, so meaning after MSF, this 0 and this is 40. Okay, the MSF is in 40 address. Once you put 60, the value will go here, 60. Okay, and the number is 41. Once you call the jump here, as you can see, change to 49, because the return value is in 49 now. So it saved the return. Where should this function will return? That's why in the debugging there is a execute until return. You can press push and push and push, but you need to have a pop command. So we are pushing 60, right? So after that, if you modify the code, you are going to pop R05. So meaning the one you push 60 will pop by R05. Okay, so we are going to go here and insert below pop R05, meaning the one you push on top of the stack will be grabbed by R05. Okay, as you can see here, once we put 60, you take a look of the R05 here. Once we double click this, okay, you will see this R05 will become 60. Okay, you try. Let's try it. Pop R05, double click, and you can see R05 is 60 and it's gone here. So that's what happened. Okay, after pushing 60, you can pop and the value 60 goes to R05. Okay, so when you click return, and it will clear this stack. So that's what's going on. If you run here, it will commit an error because there's no pop data on the stack. So you need to start here in push, then call the jump, and it will go here. It's not jump here, but should be in my ini bar. Okay, so we edit that, and it should be in my ini bar. Okay, label 2. So after MSF, you are going to You reset the program, make it clear. After marking the stack frame, there should be a top and bottom, which is the top of the stack and the bottom of the stack. Okay, and the calling MSF is in 43. After pushing 60, you will see 60 is in 44. Okay, so this is the position of the plate, the last in first out. Then after calling here, jump here, edit this one. It's not jump here, it should be my ini bar. Okay, this one on top. Okay, we reset the program. Once you mark the stack frame, push 60 on top. Then once you call this my ini bar, it will record the return value 52 here, the calling function. For every calling function there should be a return, and it will run move, then move, so it will assign the value here in R04, see, in R03. Then pop R05. What's the value of R05 now? Should be 60. Any value on top of the stack will be grabbed by the pop, and it will save to R05. So this R05 will turn into 60. So step, as you can see, this one becomes 60. Okay, so that's what going on here. Then we clear the stack by clicking the return. Okay, so that's what's happened. So this comparing is after pushing here, there's a pop, and he just compare the pop, he just compare this pop. Okay, so meaning in every push you can control the pop. So it is just assigning a new value that need to compare by the program. Instead of compare, because from here we are pushing our 60, you can change this to 60. We push 65. See, we're going to pop to R05, and from here you can compare R05. Let's say push 70. Okay, we edit this, and let's push 70, which is the last value here. Okay, and this one you are going to change this into compare the one you push, R05. Okay, compare R05 into R04. Same thing happened. Okay, so if you run here, there should be an error because there's no such thing that you're going to pop. There's no value here. I demonstrate to you. Once you click reset the program and try to run above, it will commit an error because there's no such thing you can pop. Oh, see, run, then pop, error. See, if there's no data in the stack, you are asking the program to pop data in the stack, but you should start from here. Okay, you start here. Okay, and run the program pushing 70. Okay, and there's a value that they can pop, and they can do the routine. See, because you push 70. So when it reaches the 70, so it will stop. See, it's running now in 104 because our, see, it held the system. So that's how it works, no? So just play with the command. If you want to zero address of memory, just put 0. So for every push there is corresponding path. Okay, so as you can see from here, number letter B, okay, it's done. We had already said parameter. Here, write a subroutine that takes 2 numbers as parameters. Okay, takes 2 variable. The source, actually the parameters are the source and the destination. Okay, the argument is the data. So write a subroutine that takes 2 numbers as arguments, add them and return to the result. If the subroutine is exceeded, the result available in R00. So it is easy for you, meaning take 2 numbers moving, then return the result to register 00. Take 2 numbers and add them. So we can do it manually here, because from here we have already 2 numbers here. We edit this one, and let's try to change this into 41. Okay, and this one is 65. So 41 plus 65 is 106. Okay, 41 plus 65 I think is 106. So 106. So after that you change this into add. Let's insert a code here, insert above. We're going to add the 2 numbers, so we create an arithmetic to add R03 to R04. So meaning the R04 will hold the value after making a flash. So the R04 will change into the sum of that value, and you are going to push R04. Okay, so I press that one, edit. After adding, you are going to push the R04 in the stack. Okay, memory plus, something like that. It's like a calculator. Memory plus, hold this value temporary. Okay, then after pushing, it will appear here our total. Okay, we're going to reset that program and remove all, start. Okay, so we edit this into R01. And how many variables we have? We have 31. So R01, any value, actually any register, any register you can use, because we are holding temporary value for computation, running the function, return value and everything. So I just want to make it nice, because we are jumping in R04, so but the R02 there's no content, so I just want nice 1, 2, 3 and then 4. This one is wrong because you are adding nothing. So what you are going to do is to edit this one, at least add R01 into R02. Okay. So after adding, the 106 goes to R02. Then we are going to push R02 into a memory. So we are going to edit this, and we're going to push that value of R02 into the stack. So it will push the value here, which is the sum of this 106. After that, you are going to pop that one into R00. So for every push, there is a corresponding pop. Remember that. So pop the value on top of the plate in the restaurant. Okay, so that's what will happen. Like what I told you, for every push, there's corresponding pop. Okay, let's try this. As you can see, we can no need to run here actually. Just click here, step. Okay, so you see 41 now. Then 42, the R02 will become 42. 65, sorry. See ya. Remember this. The total of these two variables will hold in one register. That is the use of the add. So R02 will become 106 after running the code. So once we run this code now, 106 is R02. It's holding the total. Okay. Now after that, we are going to stop this one because it's running. Okay, so after that, okay, close this. So after having a total here, we're going to double click this one, reset the program. Okay, let's reset the program. Reset the program. Okay, so reset all the memory and reset all this. Okay, double click here. From here, step. Okay, see 41, then 65. After pressing add, the R02 will become 106. Okay, after that, push the 106 into the stack. Hawakan mo ito yung unang plato. Ting! See, 106 now. Akin na yung nasa ibabaw ng plato. Pop it to me, and the value will go to R00, which is 106. Remember this, for every pop there is a, for every push, there's a corresponding pop. Okay, that's what happened. This one is adding, and the next one is comparing. Same procedure. So you are going to change this add into CMP. Compare R02 to R01. So compare R02 into R01, which is greater value. Compare R02. So compare R01 into R02. So we change it. Okay, so we run move already. Compare, double click and step. See, reset the program. Okay, after resetting the program, remove all program, delete program instant. There's no instant. So program data memory. Okay, then after that, okay, run. We run here. This may be holding control. No, right. So reset the program. Okay, step. 41. You see the R01 is 41 now. R02 is 65. Then compare R01 to R02 step, and you will see there's no plug here. So you will see the value which one is pushing. Okay, push. So R02 is higher, 65. So this 65 will go to R00 here. Then run. Okay. So this is it. Write a subroutine that makes two numbers as parameters. Then return the higher of the two as a resulting register R00. So no need for you just add one into the subroutine. Always looping in. So that's how it works. Okay, and review some code. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy our tutorial. See you on my next tutorial video in OS and CPU simulator. So we finished the programming model 2. Just follow this tutorial, and there's a lot of things you will learn until we finish the operating system. Okay, so thank you for watching, and goodbye. Review your ASCII table. Okay, we have ASCII table here. Okay, and play with your simulator. Okay, so this one is not there. I don't know why it should be on this area, and this one should be here. It's okay. So if you study some OLED bug, Gendra, and some engineering, reverse engineering software. Okay, so hello. See, so this is the CPU instruction. This is what we call, this is the one I'm telling you, the memory address. There is a bracket. Okay, and there's a return. So this is the CPU instruction. This is the register. As you can see, it is EAX, meaning 32-bit. If it is AX, it is 16-bit. If it is ALB, LC, LDR, it is 8-bit. And this one become R, meaning you are in 64-bit. Okay, so this is the memory dump, where you will get the data of the hello world here, and this is your stock. Okay, so you can open the 64-bit. I think this is my 64-bit. Okay, this is the 32-bit. Let's see. Yes, okay. So as you can see in this code, our register become R. Okay, meaning 64-bit. These are the value. This is how they push the data in function. So for every push, this 15 should be on top, because this is the last push. So if you review the code here below, the 15 should be on top. 14, 13, 12, RDI, SI, BP, RB. Okay, so that's how it works. I hope if you learn reverse engineering, you will fight those hackers. In your early age, you can improve yourself. Okay, we try to teach yourself. Okay, so that's why here there is a corresponding trace here, return until debug, run until return, execute until return. You see, it will execute until return. Then you can run the F7 to step only one by one, F7 one by one, so you can view what will happen on this program. Jump not equal, then system call return, then goes here, test the RAX to that's the value, then you will understand it now. The XOR will convert all those bit. There is AND or XOR, that is only the switching of the bit. Okay, load effective address layer, so you can review it. You can type those commands here in Google and they will explain you. The easy way is you can talk to ChatGPT and type the value. You type this one, what is it mean. Today it is easy to learn. Teach yourself. Okay, so see you on my next video. I hope you will fight those cybercrime in the future. Okay, destroy all their PC. Okay, goodbye. Thank you so much for watching.